Welcome to Christian Financial Perspectives, where you're invited to gain insight, wisdom, and knowledge about how Christians integrate their faith, life, and finances with a biblical worldview. Here's your host, Christian investment advisor, financial planner, and coach, Bob Barber.
Good scripture today, Shawn.
Yeah, what do you got for us, Bob?
I'll let you read it. It's right there on the computer. Come on,
thank
brother.
you. I appreciate that. James 2:18. But someone will say, "You have faith, I have deeds. Show me your faith without deeds, and I will show you my faith by my deeds."
Now, how in the world would this go with today? So I'll tell you. It's like when you say one thing and do another.
Okay.
Okay.
So actions speak louder than words, typically?
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a second.
That kind of goes with the scripture, doesn't it?
That's what we're calling today's episode.
Actions versus words. Is it really that bad?
Is it really that bad? Well, it's interesting because we did this survey of our clients and got a reasonable amount back.
Yeah.
It wasn't hundreds.
About what you would expect,
yeah,
to be honest, from a survey.
But it was interesting in my questions, the way I phrased the questions. You could see what I was trying to do, right?
Yeah.
So the first question was, and this was a couple weeks ago that we did this.
Yeah. It's been a couple weeks.
And I think we might be in a recession now, but do you believe we are headed into a recession?
Yep. And the overwhelming majority of people who responded said yes.
Said yes.
That they believe we're heading into a recession.
Which means it must be pretty bad.
Well, you think so. Or,
yeah.
It's getting bad.
So
yeah.
that's the first thing we asked them. And then the second question we asked is, well, since you think we're heading into a recession, do you know anyone personally that's been laid off?
And we
because
only
the
had
company's trying to cut costs.
Yeah, we only had about 10% of people say yes. Everybody else doesn't know anybody that's been
So they think we're going into a recession, but 90% of them don't know anybody that's been laid off.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of...
That seems a little weird. But, we should go through the rest of the questions.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So the next one we had asked, have you delayed any major vacation plans this year because of inflation?
I can tell you the answer to that. You know me. I said no.
No. And again, the majority of people said no. So, okay. So no one knows anyone that, or almost no one knows anyone that's lost their job.
Uh-huh.
Almost no one has delayed any major vacation plans, which I'm pretty sure we could win the argument on. Is that considered necessary or discretionary?
That's discretionary income.
Discretionary,
yeah.
Maybe necessary for your mental health, depending on how big your family is, right? but yeah, discretionary.
Oh my gosh, we can get into that. You still,
yeah, that's a whole nother
Yeah,
episode.
we still remember the episode. We were talking about this yesterday. First time that we did a vacation, and I had all daughters, and you.
And every one of the daughters brought a boy.
Yeah. And we ran out of food by the second or third day, and Rachel and I bought for a whole week. Go figure.
And me and the guys were just sitting there and just dumbfounded. Like, what do you mean? We didn't eat that much.
And I came back, and one of my employees that has boys, who says, "Don't you realize as long as you keep putting the food in front of them, they're going to keep eating."
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I told my mom after that trip, and she said, "Well, yeah, because I have an older brother and younger sister." So my mom was like, "I don't know what Bob was thinking." And yeah, that's how it works. Don't put too much out.
So if you're doing one of those major vacations with family, you better be ready, especially if it's a bunch of boys. They eat a lot.
Yeah.
And so, but it's really interesting. Just we're coming off the 4th of July weekend when we're making this episode, and they were saying how jammed up the airports were.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem like a recession. And Rachel and I, we just went to Mackinac Island, a place she's always wanted to go up in Michigan.
Yeah.
And it was just packed everywhere. I mean, just everything. You couldn't get in anywhere.
But traffic wasn't too bad on Mackinac, right?
Well, yeah. Lots of horses.
Yeah.
Lots of horses and bicycles. There's no cars on Mackinac. And that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Mackinac is a really, really neat place. So delaying vacation plans, majority no. But wait, they said we're headed into a recession.
Right.
Okay.
So the other question we asked, have you decided to delay a car purchase you were going to do? And once again, the vast majority of people said no.
No, they're still purchasing the car.
Yeah, still buying the car.
Even if they got one that works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Okay, I ordered my Explorer. We talked about this. I ordered it back in December, and it finally came in, and I love it. And they didn't want to give me anything from my old one, so if you want one, give me a call.
Yeah, if anybody's looking for a well-maintained...
Probably time we just comes out, I've already sold it. Okay, all right. The next question, are you cutting back on entertainment in general, like going to the movie theater, eating out?
Things like that.
Expensive, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know what you pay. I haven't been to a movie theater in so long. I watch it on my big screen at home.
I actually
what does popcorn
I actually
cost
don't
now?
go very often, but it's definitely one of those things where eating out, movie theater, again, very discretionary. So if you have fears about a recession or you're needing to try to trim your expenses to be more fiscally sound in your household, what are you going to cut? You're going to cut movie theater and eating out. You don't have to eat out as often. You don't have to go to the movie theater.
I couldn't believe it.
But yet again, almost everyone said no. They haven't cut back on any of that.
And boy, eating out is expensive today.
Yeah.
When we went on this week-long vacation to Mackinac Island, I just couldn't get over how much food costs. Rachel and I, we were splitting meals.
Yeah.
And it was still like $60, $70. Just crazy. And the last question was,
are your current feelings actually resulting in a change of behavior in how you spend?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if anyone wants to guess. We'll give you 3, 2, 1. Almost everyone said yes, which again is weird. So the majority of people who responded said, yes, I think we're heading a recession. They also answered for the question, how you're feeling, is it actually changing your behavior and how you spend?
But then almost
everybody said yes to that one.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yes, resulting in a change. But all of the questions we asked about discretionary spending, large purchases you don't necessarily need, no one's made any changes in those. So I just thought it was interesting, that the actions and the words or the actions and the emotions don't really line up.
It's like when we started the day, the actions versus words. Is it really that bad? Well,
I mean, yes, I would argue we are heading into recession, if not in
we're
one.
Now we're already in it.
But a recession also, it's not always a bad thing. I mean, just like we've talked about before with any market, there's up times and down times. I mean, it's a natural cycle. And sometimes we need a recession to get us back to a good place.
And that's why, you have to always be careful as we're coming to the end of the day's episode. Be careful about thinking that everything is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you can look at the cars on the road. You can go to the restaurants. You can go to Walmart and or Target or wherever you go. If you buy stuff online, you can go see, are people still spending money? And the answer is yes, they are.
Yep.
And it's not Armageddon.
Right.
Not at all.
Right. Is it as good as when we're not in a recession? I would say no. Yeah. But it's not. It's definitely not as bad as most of your doomsayers and people who are trying to sell you some product. It's not as bad.
Look at it that way. Look at the glass like it's half full.
Yeah.
It doesn't help any looking at it like it's half empty. Look at it like it's half full.
And either way, 50% of it's filled up.
Mine's about half right now.
Did you do that on purpose?
I didn't.
Was that your little?
See,
your
it's
little
about
display?
halfway, isn't it? I always have to drink my water when I'm doing our episodes. That's all for today. I hope we've helped you a little bit. I just thought this would be good to bring the survey to you.
Yeah.
And to maybe you can share this with somebody you know.
God bless, and thanks for tuning in.
We invite you to listen to all of our past episodes covering many financial topics from a Christian perspective. To make sure you don't miss any of Bob's upcoming episodes, you can subscribe to Christian Financial Perspectives on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or Amazon Music. To learn more about integrating your faith with your finances, visit ChristianFinancialAdvisors.com or call 830-609-6986. Investment advisory services offered through Christian Investment Advisors, Inc., DBA Christian Financial Advisors, also known as Christian Financial Advisors Management Group, a registered investment advisor. Comments from today's show are for informational purposes only and not to be considered investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any company that may have been mentioned or discussed. The opinions expressed are solely those of the host, Bob Barber, and his guests. Bob does not provide tax advice and encourages you to seek guidance from a tax professional. While Christian Investment Advisors believes the information to be accurate and reliable, we do not claim or have responsibility for its completeness, accuracy, or reliability.